Ever felt stuck, watching your goals slip away? The audiobook, The Dopamine Blueprint, Rewire Your Brain for Unstoppable Productivity, unlocks the secrets of your brain's motivation center. Imagine effortlessly conquering procrastination and achieving your wildest ambitions. Don't risk staying trapped in a cycle of unfulfilled potential. Discover the key to unstoppable productivity and transform your life. Your journey to unstoppable achievement starts here. Before we go on, I invite you to download the free bundle, which contains the ebook version of this book and an executive summary of all the chapters with the key takeaways. Studies show that engaging with content through multiple formats significantly enhances learning and retention. Click on the first link in the description to claim your free bundle now and maximize your learning potential. Now it's free, but it won't be for long, so make sure to grab it while you can. Chapter 1, Chemistry Unleashed. Imagine unlocking a hidden superpower within your brain, a force so potent it could transform your productivity and reshape your entire life. This isn't science fiction. It's the reality of dopamine, your brain's secret weapon in the quest for motivation and success. In this chapter, we'll dive deep into the fascinating world of brain chemistry, exploring how a single molecule can be the key to unlocking your full potential. Dopamine is more than just a chemical floating around in your head. It's the driving force behind your desires, your ambitions, and your ability to take action. By understanding how dopamine works, you'll gain unprecedented control over your motivation and productivity. This knowledge isn't just theoretical, it's a practical tool that you can start using immediately to reshape your habits and achieve your goals. As we embark on this journey, you'll discover why dopamine is often called the motivation molecule. This nickname isn't just clever marketing, it's a reflection of dopamine's crucial role in driving behavior. When dopamine is released in your brain, it creates a surge of energy and focus, propelling you towards your objectives with newfound enthusiasm. But dopamine's influence goes far beyond just making you feel good. It's intimately involved in the process of learning and habit formation. Every time you accomplish a task or reach a goal, dopamine reinforces that behavior, making it more likely that you'll repeat it in the future. This is the basis for building long-lasting productive habits that can transform your life. In the coming pages, you'll gain a clear understanding of how dopamine is produced in your brain and the key triggers that cause its release. You'll learn about dopamine receptors, the specialized structures in your brain that respond to this powerful chemical, and how they create the feelings of reward and motivation that drive you forward. This knowledge isn't just interesting trivia, it's the foundation for a series of practical experiments and strategies that you'll be able to implement immediately. By the end of this chapter, you'll have the tools to design your own dopamine-driven habits, allowing you to harness the power of your brain's chemistry for increased productivity and success. As you progress through this book, you'll build on this foundation, learning increasingly sophisticated techniques for managing your dopamine levels and optimizing your motivation. But it all starts here, with a basic understanding of the chemistry that drives your behavior. So, what exactly can you expect to achieve as you begin this journey? First and foremost, you'll gain a new perspective on motivation. Rather than seeing it as some mysterious force that comes and goes at random, you'll understand the biological processes that create and sustain drive. This knowledge alone can be incredibly empowering, giving you a sense of control over your own behavior that you may have never experienced before. But theory alone isn't enough. That's why you'll also develop an initial action plan, outlining small tasks that you can use to experiment with dopamine-driven habits. These aren't grand, life-changing goals, at least not yet. Instead, they're simple, achievable objectives that allow you to see the immediate impact of what you're learning. As you implement these small changes, you'll begin to notice shifts in your focus and drive. Tasks that once seemed daunting may suddenly feel more manageable. You might find yourself tackling your to-do list with renewed energy or feeling a sense of anticipation for challenges that previously filled you with dread. These initial changes are just the beginning. If you continue to apply the principles you'll learn in this book, the long-term effects can be truly transformative. Over time, you'll transition from relying on sporadic bursts of motivation to developing consistent, sustainable effort. The neural pathways in your brain will strengthen, making productive behavior feel more natural and effortless. This ongoing practice leads to a deeper level of self-awareness. You'll gain insight into what truly drives you, understanding the unique triggers and rewards that resonate most strongly with your brain. This self-knowledge becomes a powerful tool for personal and professional growth, allowing you to tailor your environment and habits for maximum motivation and productivity. To achieve these results, you'll need to familiarize yourself with some basic concepts about dopamine and how it functions in your brain. Don't worry, we're not going to bog you down with complex scientific jargon. Instead, you'll get a clear, accessible overview of dopamine's production and release, as well as an understanding of how dopamine receptors work to create those feelings of motivation and reward. Armed with this knowledge, you'll be ready to start designing simple experiments to test out small behavioral changes. These experiments are a crucial part of the process, allowing you to see firsthand how adjustments to your habits and environment can impact your motivation and productivity. You'll learn to track the immediate feedback from your brain, noticing how different actions and stimuli affect your dopamine levels and, consequently, your behavior. Why is this step-by-step approach so important? Because building a strong foundation is crucial for long-term success. By starting with a clear understanding of dopamine's chemistry, you create a solid base of knowledge that will inform all of your future efforts to improve your productivity and motivation. Moreover, this approach allows you to connect scientific insights directly to daily action. It's one thing to understand dopamine in theory, it's another to see how it impacts your life in practical, tangible ways. By bridging this gap between theory and practice, you'll be better equipped to apply what you're learning in meaningful ways. The progression from basics to mastery is also carefully designed. By starting small, you build confidence and gather evidence that these techniques really work. This creates a positive feedback loop, motivating you to tackle bigger changes as you move forward. Each step builds on the previous one, creating a logical progression that takes you from novice to expert in managing your brain's motivational chemistry. Now let's dive deeper into the nature of dopamine itself. What exactly is this powerful chemical, and why does it have such a profound impact on our behavior? At its most basic level, dopamine is a neurotransmitter, a chemical messenger that carries signals between neurons in your brain. But dopamine isn't just any neurotransmitter. It's often described as a feel-good chemical because of the pleasurable sensations it can create. However, this description only scratches the surface of dopamine's true function. More accurately, dopamine could be called a go-get-it chemical. It doesn't just make you feel good, it motivates you to take action. When dopamine is released in your brain, it creates a surge of excitement and anticipation. This isn't just a passive feeling of pleasure, it's an active drive that propels you towards your goals. This is where the link between brain chemistry and productivity becomes clear. Those moments when you feel suddenly energized to tackle a project, or when you find yourself eagerly anticipating a challenge, that's dopamine at work. It's the force that turns your desires into actions, bridging the gap between wanting something and actually pursuing it. Understanding this connection is crucial because it gives you a new level of control over your own behavior. Once you recognize that your motivation isn't some mysterious, unpredictable force, but rather a chemical process that you can influence, you gain the power to shape your own drive and productivity. But how exactly does dopamine exert this powerful influence? To understand that, we need to look at how dopamine is produced and released in your brain. Dopamine production begins deep within the brain, in regions such as the substantia nigra and the ventral tegmental area. These areas contain specialized neurons that manufacture dopamine from basic chemical building blocks. Once produced, dopamine is stored in tiny sacs called vesicles, ready to be released when the right trigger comes along. What are these triggers? They can vary widely, but they generally fall into two categories: rewards and anticipation of rewards. When you achieve a goal, complete a task, or experience something pleasurable, your brain releases a burst of dopamine. But importantly, your brain also releases dopamine when you anticipate a reward, which is why the mere thought of succeeding at a task can be motivating. Once released, dopamine travels across the tiny gaps between neurons, called synapses, and binds to special structures called dopamine receptors. These receptors are like locks, and dopamine is the key that fits into them. When dopamine binds to these receptors, it sets off a chain reaction within the neuron, creating the sensations of pleasure and motivation that we associate with dopamine. This process creates a powerful feedback loop. When you take an action that results in a reward, the resulting dopamine release reinforces that behavior, making you more likely to repeat it in the future. This is the basis for habit formation and learning. Your brain is constantly using dopamine to teach itself which behaviors lead to positive outcomes. Understanding this process is more than just interesting neuroscience. It's the key to unlocking your own motivation and productivity. By learning to manage your dopamine levels effectively, you can create an environment and habits that naturally boost your drive and focus. As we conclude this chapter, it's important to recognize why this knowledge of your brain matters so much. Deeper insight into dopamine doesn't just satisfy scientific curiosity, it empowers you to take control of your own self-improvement journey. When you understand the biological basis of motivation, you can work with your brain's natural processes rather than fighting against them. This awareness forms a crucial link to better habit formation. Instead of relying on willpower alone, a finite resource that often fails us, you can design your environment and routines to naturally boost your dopamine levels and reinforce positive behaviors. This makes the process of building new habits and breaking old ones significantly easier and more sustainable. As we move forward, each chapter will build on this foundation, providing you with increasingly sophisticated tools and strategies for harnessing your brain's dopamine system. You'll learn about the Mesolimbic pathway, your brain's reward center, and how to activate it for increased motivation. You'll discover the difference between quick dopamine bursts, Phasic pulses, and steady background levels, Tonic regulation, and how to use both for optimal productivity. You'll explore reinforcement learning, understanding how to create feedback loops that turn small wins into lasting habits. We'll delve into the intricacies of habit formation, showing you how to break unproductive cycles and replace them with routines that naturally boost your productivity. You'll learn to create your own personalized motivation algorithms, designing systems that keep you energized and focused throughout the day. We'll also tackle one of the biggest challenges to long-term productivity, the tendency to choose immediate gratification over long-term success. You'll gain strategies for overcoming this delay discounting effect, helping you stay focused on your bigger goals even when temptations arise. By the end of this journey, you'll have a comprehensive toolkit for rewiring your brain, transforming your productivity, and achieving your goals with less effort and more consistency than ever before. But it all starts here, with this fundamental understanding of dopamine and its role in your brain. As we transition to the next chapter, prepare to dive deeper into the intricate workings of your brain's reward system. You'll discover how a small cluster of neurons can drive your entire motivation system, and how understanding this motivation hub can revolutionize your approach to productivity. The journey to unlocking your brain's full potential is just beginning, and the rewards that await you are truly extraordinary. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to Grow to the Top and activate notifications to receive more self-improvement tips that will supercharge your growth. And make sure to give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends. It really helps the channel grow. Thank you for your support. Chapter 2, Mesolimbic Mechanics. Imagine a hidden engine within your brain, constantly humming with potential energy, ready to propel you towards your goals at a moment's notice. This engine isn't just a metaphor, it's a real, physical part of your brain, and understanding how it works can revolutionize the way you approach productivity and motivation. Welcome to the world of Mesolimbic mechanics, where we'll explore the intricate workings of your brain's reward system. This system is the key to unlocking sustained motivation, transforming the way you tackle challenges, and ultimately reshaping your approach to success. But why is this knowledge so crucial? The answer lies in the very nature of human behavior. Every action you take, every goal you pursue, is fundamentally driven by the anticipation of reward. Whether it's the satisfaction of completing a project, the thrill of learning something new, or the simple pleasure of crossing an item off your to-do list, rewards are the fuel that keeps your motivational engine running. By tapping into your reward system, you gain access to a wellspring of motivation that can keep you focused on your goals, even when the going gets tough. An active mesolimbic system doesn't just make you feel good, it sharpens your focus, enhances your decision-making, and provides the drive needed to push through obstacles. This isn't just theoretical knowledge. Understanding the mechanics of your brain's reward circuitry provides practical benefits that can transform your daily life. It allows you to design environments and routines that naturally boost your motivation, reducing the need for willpower and making productivity feel effortless. Moreover, these insights can lead to sharper, more consistent drive. Instead of relying on fleeting bursts of inspiration, you'll learn to cultivate a steady stream of motivation that can carry you through long-term projects and complex challenges. To truly harness the power of your mesolimbic system, we need to delve into its anatomy. At the heart of this system lie two key structures, the ventral tegmental area, VTA, and the nucleus accumbens. These may sound like complex scientific terms, but understanding their roles is crucial to mastering your own motivation. Let's start with the VTA. Nestled deep within your midbrain, the VTA is like a central command station for your reward system. It's home to a cluster of neurons that produce dopamine, that crucial neurotransmitter we explored in the previous chapter. When activated, these neurons release dopamine, setting off a chain reaction that ripples through your brain. But the VTA doesn't work alone. Its partner in this motivational dance is the nucleus accumbens, often referred to as the brain's pleasure center or reward hub. When dopamine from the VTA reaches the nucleus accumbens, it creates those feelings of satisfaction and pleasure that we associate with rewards. The interaction between these two structures is at the core of what drives your behavior. When you anticipate a reward, whether it's completing a task, achieving a goal, or experiencing something enjoyable, your VTA activates, sending dopamine to the nucleus accumbens. This not only creates a sense of pleasure, but also reinforces the behaviors that led to that reward. This reinforcement is crucial. It's how your brain learns which actions are worth repeating. Every time you complete a task and feel that surge of satisfaction, your brain is strengthening the neural pathways associated with that behavior, making it more likely that you'll repeat it in the future. Understanding this process gives you a powerful tool for shaping your own behavior. By consciously creating situations that activate your reward system, you can reinforce productive habits and make motivation a natural, automatic part of your daily life. But how exactly do rewards drive your behavior on a moment-to-moment basis? To answer this, we need to explore the magic of feeling good, that surge of satisfaction you get when you hit a goal or complete a task. This feeling isn't just a nice bonus, it's a crucial part of how your brain motivates you to take action. When you accomplish something, your brain releases a burst of dopamine, creating a wave of pleasure that washes over you. This feeling is your brain's way of saying, "Good job, do more of that." But here's where it gets really interesting. Your brain doesn't just reward you for past actions. It also motivates future behavior through anticipation. Just thinking about a potential reward can trigger a smaller release of dopamine, creating a sense of excitement and motivation that propels you into action. This anticipatory effect is why setting clear, achievable goals can be so powerful. When you have a concrete objective in mind, your brain can visualize the reward, releasing small amounts of dopamine that keep you motivated as you work towards your goal. Understanding this cycle of anticipation, action, and reward is key to harnessing your brain's natural motivational systems. By structuring your tasks and goals in a way that taps into this cycle, you can create a self-reinforcing loop of productivity. So how can you put this knowledge into practice? How can you use your understanding of the Mesolimbic system to boost your productivity and achieve your goals? The first step is learning to activate your inner drive. This means finding ways to spark your Mesolimbic pathway, getting that crucial flow of dopamine started. One effective method is to break larger tasks into smaller, more manageable steps. Each small step becomes an opportunity for a reward, activating your nucleus accumbens and keeping you motivated. Another powerful technique is to build environments that naturally nudge your brain toward action. This could involve creating a dedicated workspace that your brain associates with productivity, or using visual cues like to-do lists or progress trackers that provide a constant reminder of potential rewards. But activating your drive is just the beginning. To truly harness the power of your Mesolimbic system, you need to make success inevitable by reinforcing positive cycles. This means consciously celebrating your achievements, no matter how small. Each time you complete a task, take a moment to acknowledge your progress. This self-acknowledgement triggers a release of dopamine, strengthening the neural pathways associated with that productive behavior. You can also set up external triggers to naturally boost your motivation. This might involve scheduling regular check-ins or progress reviews, or setting up a system of rewards for reaching certain milestones. The key is to create a consistent stream of positive reinforcement that keeps your Mesolimbic system engaged and active. Now that we've explored the theory behind Mesolimbic mechanics, let's look at some practical steps you can take to apply this knowledge to your daily life. One powerful approach is to incorporate small, rewarding tasks into your day. These don't have to be directly related to your main goals. The idea is to give your brain regular doses of dopamine to keep your motivation high. This could be as simple as taking a short walk, listening to a favorite song, or spending a few minutes on a hobby you enjoy. You can also work on aligning your routine tasks with your reward center's preferences. This might involve finding ways to make necessary but unexciting tasks more engaging. For example, you could turn repetitive work into a game by setting time challenges for yourself, or pair less enjoyable tasks with something you find rewarding, like listening to a podcast while you work. As you become more adept at activating your reward system, you can gradually increase the challenges you take on. The key is to scale your tasks in a way that allows you to regularly experience rewarding progress. This creates a positive feedback loop where each success motivates you to tackle slightly bigger challenges. However, it's important to maintain a balance. You want to avoid both boredom and overwhelm, as either extreme can dampen your Mesolimbic activity. The sweet spot is tasks that are challenging enough to be engaging, but not so difficult that they feel insurmountable. So what kind of results can you expect as you start applying these techniques? Let's explore the range of possible outcomes, from good to excellent to best-case scenarios. At a minimum, you should start to feel a stronger urge to get started on tasks. You might notice that you begin work more quickly than before, with less procrastination and hesitation. This alone can lead to a mild but noticeable increase in your daily productivity. As you continue to apply these principles, you may find yourself able to sustain momentum even in complex, long-term projects. This is where things start to get really exciting. You'll experience more consistent follow-through on challenging goals, and progress will start to feel like a natural byproduct of your day rather than something you have to force. In the best-case scenario, you'll achieve a reward loop that fuels continuous growth. You'll develop an automatic drive to push beyond your comfort zones, constantly seeking new challenges and opportunities for growth. Even obstacles will be transformed in your mind, becoming opportunities for new rewards rather than roadblocks to be avoided. Of course, as with any powerful tool, there are potential pitfalls to be aware of when working with your mesolimbic system. One risk is overstimulation or burnout. In your enthusiasm to activate your reward system, you might find yourself excessively pursuing short-term rewards, leading to exhaustion. To avoid this, it's crucial to pace yourself and maintain balance. Remember, the goal is sustainable, long-term motivation, not a short-lived burst of productivity followed by burnout. Make sure to incorporate rest and recovery into your routine, giving your brain time to recharge between periods of intense focus. Another potential issue is becoming overly dependent on external triggers for motivation. While external cues can be useful tools, relying on them too heavily can leave you struggling to stay productive when those cues aren't present. To counter this, work on building internal motivation. This involves connecting your tasks and goals to your deeper values and long-term aspirations. When you can see how your daily actions contribute to your broader life goals, you'll find it easier to stay motivated even without constant external prompts. As we conclude this exploration of mesolimbic mechanics, take a moment to reflect on the power you now hold. You've gained insight into the very engine of motivation within your brain. You understand how the interplay between the VTA and nucleus accumbens shapes your behavior, and you have practical tools to harness this system for greater productivity and success. But this is just the beginning. As powerful as the mesolimbic system is, it's only one part of the complex machinery that drives human behavior. In our next chapter, we'll delve into another crucial aspect of your brain's motivational toolkit, one that can provide the spark needed to kickstart your productivity even on your most challenging days. Get ready to discover the secret of instant motivation hidden within the rapid-fire signals of your neural networks. Chapter 3: Phasic Pulses. Have you ever experienced a sudden surge of energy, a moment when your motivation seems to ignite out of nowhere? That fleeting burst of enthusiasm that propels you into action, making even the most daunting task seem conquerable? These moments aren't random occurrences or strokes of luck. They're the result of a fascinating neurological phenomenon that, once understood, can be harnessed to revolutionize your productivity. Welcome to the world of phasic pulses, where we'll explore the rapid-fire signals that can transform your approach to tasks and goals. These lightning-quick bursts of neural activity hold the key to unlocking immediate motivation and sustained energy. But what exactly are these pulses, and how can they be the secret to overcoming procrastination and achieving your objectives? To truly grasp the power of phasic pulses, we need to delve into the intricate workings of your brain's reward system. Remember the dopamine we discussed in previous chapters? Well, it turns out that dopamine doesn't just flow steadily through your brain. Instead, it's released in quick, intense bursts. These are what we call phasic pulses. These pulses are your brain's way of signaling that something important or rewarding is happening or about to happen. They're the neurological equivalent of a starting pistol, signaling your mind and body to spring into action. But why are these pulses so crucial to understanding and improving your motivation? The importance of phasic pulses lies in their ability to provide quick activation of motivation. These immediate sparks of energy are invaluable when it comes to starting tasks, especially those you might otherwise put off. By learning to trigger and harness these pulses, you can overcome the initial resistance that often leads to procrastination. Moreover, these quick bursts of motivation aren't just useful for getting started. They can be the key to turning small wins into bigger gains. By understanding how to create and stack these micro-rewards, you can build momentum that carries you through longer, more complex tasks. It's like creating a chain reaction of motivation, where each small success fuels the next, leading to sustained focus and productivity. But to truly harness the power of phasic pulses, we need to understand what sets them apart from the steady-state dopamine release we've discussed before. Unlike the constant, low-level dopamine that maintains your general mood and motivation, phasic pulses are rapid, intense, and highly specific. These quick bursts differ from steady-state release in both their intensity and duration. While steady-state dopamine provides a constant background level of motivation, phasic pulses are like spotlights, illuminating specific actions or opportunities with a bright burst of motivational energy. You might recognize these pulses as the mental buzz you feel when you're about to start an exciting project, or the sudden urge to act when an opportunity presents itself. This sensation is your brain's way of saying, "Pay attention, this is important." Understanding the nature of these pulses is crucial because it allows you to work with your brain's natural rhythms rather than against them. By aligning your tasks and goals with these bursts of motivation, you can make productivity feel effortless and natural. Timing, as they say, is everything, and this is particularly true when it comes to phasic pulses. The key to leveraging these bursts of motivation lies in capturing the moment when your motivation peaks. This means being attuned to your own mental states and ready to act when you feel that surge of energy. But how can you align your tasks with these natural reward signals? One effective strategy is to structure your work in a way that provides frequent opportunities for small wins. Each completed subtask can trigger a phasic pulse, providing a burst of motivation to carry you forward to the next step. Now that we understand what phasic pulses are and why they're so important, the next question is, how can we trigger them intentionally? How can we set up our environment and routines to generate these motivational sparks when we need them most? One powerful approach is to set up cues in your workspace that trigger these dopamine bursts. These could be visual reminders of your goals, inspiring quotes, or even specific objects that you associate with productivity. The key is to find triggers that resonate with you personally and that you can easily incorporate into your environment. Another effective strategy is to introduce novelty into your routine. Your brain loves new and unexpected experiences, and these can be powerful triggers for dopamine release. This doesn't mean you need to completely overhaul your life. Even small changes, like working in a different location or using a new tool for a familiar task, can stimulate these rewarding pulses. Building momentum throughout your day is another crucial aspect of harnessing phasic pulses. This involves breaking your tasks into quick, winnable steps. Each step you complete triggers a small burst of dopamine, creating a positive feedback loop that keeps you moving forward. Don't underestimate the power of celebrating minor accomplishments. Taking a moment to acknowledge each small win can generate repeat bursts of dopamine, reinforcing your productive behavior and motivating you to continue. This doesn't mean throwing a party every time you send an email. A simple mental acknowledgement or a quick note in a journal can be enough to trigger these rewarding pulses. While these quick bursts of motivation are powerful, the real magic happens when you learn to turn these momentary sparks into long-term gains. The goal is to move from relying on instant energy to developing lasting focus and productivity. One way to achieve this is by consciously connecting these short surges to deeper concentration. As you feel the initial burst of motivation from starting a task, use that energy to dive deeper into your work. The more you practice this, the more your brain will associate the initial spark with sustained, focused effort. There are also specific techniques you can use to carry this momentum forward. One effective approach is the 5-minute rule. When you feel a burst of motivation, commit to working on the task for just 5 minutes. Often, you'll find that once you've started, it's easy to continue beyond those initial 5 minutes. Developing daily practices that support consistent action is crucial for long-term success. This involves structuring your routine around well-timed micro-rewards, small, frequent opportunities for dopamine release that keep you motivated throughout the day. Maintaining a cycle of positive feedback is key to this approach. Each time you complete a task or reach a milestone, take a moment to acknowledge your progress. This self-recognition triggers a dopamine release, reinforcing your productive behavior and motivating you to continue. Now, let's explore some practical steps you can take to apply this theory to your daily life. One powerful strategy is to design mini-tasks specifically to prompt these motivational pulses. The key is to choose tasks that are easily completed, providing quick dopamine boosts that keep you energized and focused. Start by identifying small, manageable tasks that you can complete in a short time frame. These could be as simple as organizing your desk, responding to an email, or outlining a project. The important thing is that they're achievable and provide a clear sense of progress. As you become more adept at using these mini-tasks, you can gradually increase their difficulty to sustain interest. This progressive challenge helps prevent boredom while continuing to provide those crucial dopamine hits. Setting time-based triggers can also be an effective way to harness phasic pulses. Try scheduling regular intervals for short, energizing activities throughout your day. These could be brief periods of focused work, quick exercise sessions, or moments of mindfulness practice. You can use timers or alarms to help align your actions with these dopamine releases. For example, you might set a timer for 25 minutes of focused work, followed by a 5-minute break. The anticipation of the break can provide a motivational boost, while the completion of the work session triggers a rewarding pulse. As you implement these strategies, you'll likely notice a range of positive outcomes. At a basic level, you should experience less resistance to starting tasks. You might find yourself hesitating less before diving into work and gradually warming up to bigger challenges with less internal struggle. With consistent practice, you could achieve a more consistent flow of motivation. This means feeling a steady stream of energy throughout your day, completing more tasks without that sense of forcing yourself to work. Your productivity becomes more natural and sustainable. In the best-case scenario, you'll develop seamless productivity and rapid task completion. Procrastination becomes rare as tasks become self-reinforcing. Each completed action motivates you to take on the next. You'll be able to turn those initial sparks of dopamine into unstoppable progress, achieving your goals with unprecedented ease and efficiency. However, as with any powerful tool, there are potential pitfalls to be aware of when working with phasic pulses. One risk is becoming overly reliant on these mini rewards. If you find yourself feeling stuck or unmotivated when there's no quick win available, it might be a sign that you've become too dependent on these short-term boosts. To avoid this, it's important to balance your focus on short-term wins with your deeper, long-term goals. While phasic pulses are excellent for providing immediate motivation, they should be used in conjunction with, not instead of, your broader objectives and values. Another potential issue is experiencing diminishing returns on repeated tasks. If your go-to activities for triggering dopamine bursts become too routine, they may lose their novelty factor and become less effective at stimulating those crucial pulses. To counter this, it's important to introduce variety into your routine. This could involve rotating through different types of reward activities, changing up your work environment, or finding new ways to challenge yourself within familiar tasks. As we conclude this exploration of phasic pulses, take a moment to reflect on the power you now hold. You've gained insight into the rapid-fire signals that can ignite your motivation at a moment's notice. You understand how these quick bursts of dopamine shape your moment-to-moment decisions, and you have practical tools to harness this system for greater productivity and success. But as powerful as phasic pulses are, they're only one part of the complex symphony of neurochemical processes that drive human behavior. In our next chapter, we'll explore another crucial aspect of your brain's motivational toolkit, one that provides the steady, underlying current of drive that supports your day-to-day productivity. Get ready to discover the secret of sustained motivation hidden within the consistent rhythms of your neural activity. Chapter 4, Tonic Regulation. Imagine a river flowing steadily through a landscape, its constant presence shaping the environment around it. This river doesn't surge dramatically or dry up unexpectedly. Instead, it maintains a consistent flow, providing a reliable source of energy and life to everything it touches. In many ways, your brain's motivational system can function like this river, offering a steady current of drive and focus that carries you through your days and towards your goals. But what exactly is this steady flow, and how can you harness it to transform your productivity and achieve your ambitions? The answer lies in a fascinating aspect of your brain's chemistry that we've yet to explore fully: tonic dopamine regulation. In previous chapters, we've discussed the dramatic spikes of motivation that come from phasic dopamine release. These quick bursts are certainly powerful, but they're only part of the story. To truly master your motivation, you need to understand and harness the steady, underlying current of dopamine that shapes your day-to-day experiences and long-term drive. This steady flow is what we call tonic dopamine. Unlike the rapid-fire pulses of phasic release, tonic dopamine provides a constant, background level of this crucial neurotransmitter. It's the foundation upon which all your other motivational experiences are built, setting the stage for how responsive your brain will be to rewards and challenges throughout your day. But why is this steady state so important? The power of tonic regulation lies in its ability to provide consistent, balanced energy levels. When your tonic dopamine is well regulated, you're less likely to experience the extreme highs and lows that can lead to burnout. Instead, you maintain a steady drive that allows you to make consistent progress towards your goals over the long term. Think about times when you've felt in the zone, not necessarily excited or elated, but calmly focused and productive. That's tonic dopamine at work, providing a stable foundation for sustained effort and achievement. Moreover, a well-regulated tonic dopamine system sets your brain's baseline for success. It creates an environment where you're naturally more motivated and focused, making it easier to transition between tasks and adapt to changing demands. This flexibility is crucial in today's fast-paced world, where the ability to shift gears quickly and maintain productivity across various challenges is often the key to success. To truly harness the power of tonic regulation, we need to understand how it differs from the phasic bursts we've discussed before. While phasic dopamine release is all about quick, intense spikes of motivation, tonic dopamine is the steady undercurrent that keeps you going day after day. Think of tonic dopamine as the background music of your brain's motivational symphony. It's not flashy or attention-grabbing, but it sets the tone for everything else. When your tonic levels are well balanced, you're more receptive to those phasic bursts, and they have a greater impact on your behavior and motivation. The interaction between tonic and phasic dopamine is complex and fascinating. Your tonic levels influence how responsive you are to phasic bursts, while frequent phasic activation can over time influence your tonic levels. It's a dynamic dance that shapes your overall motivation and drive. But how can you influence this baseline level of dopamine? The key lies in understanding that your daily habits and routines have a profound impact on your tonic dopamine levels. Everything from your sleep patterns to your exercise habits can influence this steady-state release. Recognizing the signs of imbalance is crucial. If you find yourself constantly seeking stimulation, unable to focus on tasks without immediate rewards, or experiencing dramatic swings in motivation, it might be a sign that your tonic regulation needs some attention. Creating a steady state of motivation is about more than just avoiding the lows. It's about establishing a consistent, sustainable level of drive that can carry you through both exciting projects and necessary but less thrilling tasks. One key to achieving this is incorporating productive routines into your day. These aren't rigid, inflexible schedules, but rather a framework that supports continuous drive. By creating a rhythm to your day that aligns with your natural energy fluctuations, you can avoid sudden drops in focus and maintain steady progress. For example, you might structure your day to tackle your most challenging tasks when your energy is naturally highest, reserving less demanding work for times when you typically experience a lull. This approach works with your brain's natural rhythms, helping to maintain a steady motivational state throughout the day. But consistency doesn't mean monotony. In fact, blending excitement with consistency is crucial for maintaining optimal tonic dopamine levels. Occasional challenges or novel experiences can prevent boredom and keep your motivational system engaged. The key is to find a balance, maintaining calm productivity while still aiming high and pushing your boundaries. This might involve setting stretch goals that excite you or periodically introducing new elements to your routine. The goal is to keep your brain engaged and interested without constantly seeking the intense highs that can lead to burnout. Now that we understand the importance of tonic regulation and how it interacts with phasic bursts, let's explore some practical steps you can take to apply this theory to your life. One of the most effective strategies is to structure your day for steady focus. This doesn't mean working nonstop from morning to night. In fact, introducing short breaks for mental reset can be crucial for maintaining steady tonic dopamine levels. These breaks aren't about checking out completely, but rather about giving your brain a chance to recharge. A few minutes of mindfulness practice, a short walk, or even just looking out the window can help reset your focus and maintain steady motivation. Balancing creative and routine tasks is another key strategy. While routine tasks are necessary, too much repetition can lead to boredom and a drop in tonic dopamine. By interspersing creative or challenging tasks throughout your day, you can keep your brain engaged and your motivation steady. Monitoring your tonic levels over time is crucial for maintaining optimal regulation. While you can't directly measure dopamine levels without sophisticated medical equipment, you can gauge your motivation and focus through self-reflection and observation. Pay attention to how consistently motivated you feel throughout the day and week. Are there times when you consistently struggle to focus or feel driven? These patterns can provide valuable insights into your tonic regulation. Based on these observations, you can adjust your habits to maintain a stable drive. This might involve tweaking your daily routine, adjusting your work environment, or incorporating new practices that support steady dopamine release. As you begin to implement these strategies, you'll likely notice a range of positive outcomes. At a basic level, you should start feeling less drained by the end of the day. Those energy slumps that used to plague your afternoons might become less frequent, and you may find yourself able to tackle more tasks steadily throughout the day. This isn't about pushing yourself to work longer hours, but rather about maintaining a consistent level of energy and focus during your designated work time. You might notice that you're able to complete your usual tasks with less effort, leaving you with more energy for other aspects of your life. As you continue to refine your tonic regulation, you may achieve more consistent performance across multiple challenges. This means sustaining high output over time, even when faced with varied or complex tasks. You'll likely feel more in control of your work, responding proactively to challenges rather than merely reacting to them as they arise. This level of consistency can be transformative, allowing you to take on bigger projects and more ambitious goals with confidence. You'll know that you have the steady motivation needed to see things through, even when the initial excitement wears off. In the best-case scenario, you'll experience effortless focus and reliable motivation. This doesn't mean you'll never face challenges or moments of lower drive, but rather that these dips will be rare and easily managed. You'll develop a sense of smooth, ongoing drive that permeates everything you do. Imagine approaching each day with a calm confidence, knowing that you have the steady motivation needed to tackle whatever comes your way. This isn't about being constantly on or pushing yourself to extremes, but rather about having a reliable foundation of drive and focus that you can count on day after day. Of course, as with any aspect of brain chemistry and behavior, there are potential pitfalls to be aware of when working on tonic regulation. One common issue is neglecting recovery in the pursuit of constant productivity. It's easy to fall into the trap of overworking, pushing yourself until your concentration dips abruptly. This approach not only leads to burnout, but can actually disrupt your tonic dopamine regulation, making it harder to maintain steady motivation in the long run. The solution is to reintroduce balanced pauses into your routine. These aren't about slacking off, but rather about giving your brain the rest it needs to maintain steady dopamine levels. Regular breaks, adequate sleep, and time for relaxation and hobbies are all crucial for maintaining optimal tonic regulation. Another potential issue is relying too heavily on external stimuli to maintain motivation. While novelty and challenges can be great for keeping your brain engaged, becoming dependent on constant excitement or pressure can disrupt your tonic dopamine balance. If you find yourself feeling lost or unmotivated without constant novelty or pressure, it might be a sign that you need to work on strengthening your internal motivation. This involves connecting more deeply with your intrinsic reasons for pursuing your goals, rather than relying solely on external rewards or pressures. Developing this internal motivation can help you maintain stable tonic dopamine levels, even when external circumstances are less than ideal. It's about cultivating a sense of purpose and drive that comes from within, rather than being entirely dependent on your environment. As we conclude this exploration of tonic regulation, take a moment to reflect on the power you now hold. You've gained insight into the steady current of motivation that can carry you through your days and towards your goals. You understand how this consistent flow of dopamine shapes your overall motivational state, and you have practical tools to maintain and optimize this crucial aspect of your brain's chemistry. But as powerful as tonic regulation is, it's just one piece of the complex puzzle of human motivation and productivity. In our next chapter, we'll explore a fascinating aspect of brain function that ties together everything we've learned so far. Get ready to discover how your brain turns fleeting experiences into lasting changes, shaping your behavior and capabilities in ways you might never have imagined. The key to unlocking your full potential lies in understanding this fundamental process of neural adaptation and growth. Chapter 5: Reinforcement Learning. Imagine a world where every positive action you take automatically strengthens your desire to repeat it. A world where productivity isn't a constant battle against procrastination, but a natural, almost effortless flow of accomplishment. This isn't a fantasy. It's the power of reinforcement learning, a fundamental process that shapes our behavior at the deepest levels of our brain. But what exactly is reinforcement learning, and how can understanding it transform your approach to productivity and personal growth? At its core, reinforcement learning is about how our brains learn from experience, specifically from the outcomes of our actions. It's a process that's constantly at work, subtly guiding our behavior based on the consequences we encounter. This chapter will delve into the fascinating world of reinforcement learning, exploring how dopamine, that crucial neurotransmitter we've discussed in previous chapters, plays a central role in this process. We'll uncover how you can harness this natural learning mechanism to create powerful feedback loops, turning small wins into lasting habits and transforming your productivity in the process. But why is understanding reinforcement learning so important? The answer lies in its ability to create self-sustaining progress. Instead of relying solely on willpower, a finite resource that often fails us when we need it most, reinforcement learning allows us to build momentum through positive feedback. Each small success becomes a stepping stone to the next, creating a virtuous cycle of achievement and motivation. Moreover, reinforcement learning eliminates much of the guesswork from personal development. Rather than making random attempts at improvement, you can use systematic reinforcement to guide your behavior towards desired outcomes. This targeted approach can significantly speed up your path to forming new habits and achieving your goals. To truly grasp the power of reinforcement learning, we need to understand how our brains learn from positive outcomes. When we take an action that leads to a rewarding result, our brain releases a burst of dopamine. This dopamine surge doesn't just make us feel good, it also strengthens the neural pathways associated with the action that led to the reward. Over time, as these pathways are repeatedly reinforced, the behaviors that led to success become more automatic. We find ourselves instinctively repeating actions that have been rewarded in the past, often without conscious thought. This is how habits are formed, and it's a process we can actively harness for personal growth and productivity. The role of small victories in this process cannot be overstated. While we often focus on big, dramatic successes, it's actually the accumulation of minor achievements that paves the way for significant progress. Each small win triggers a dopamine release, reinforcing the behavior that led to it and motivating us to continue. By linking these incremental rewards to steady forward motion, we can create a powerful momentum in our personal and professional lives. It's like building a staircase of success, where each step, no matter how small, brings us closer to our ultimate goals. But how can we actively create and shape this reward system to our advantage? The key lies in designing a personal feedback loop that aligns with our goals and motivations. This involves carefully determining the right type of reward for each achievement and timing these rewards to reinforce productive behavior effectively. The rewards don't have to be large or elaborate. In fact, sometimes the most effective rewards are simple acknowledgments of progress. The key is that they're meaningful to you and closely tied to the behavior you want to reinforce. This could be as simple as checking off an item on a to-do list, taking a moment to reflect on your progress, or allowing yourself a short break after completing a challenging task. Timing is crucial in this process. The reward should follow the desired behavior as closely as possible to create a strong association in your brain. This immediate feedback helps your brain quickly identify which actions lead to positive outcomes, strengthening the neural pathways associated with those behaviors. As you progress and your goals evolve, it's important to scale up your reward system accordingly. This might involve adjusting the size or frequency of rewards to match the increasing challenge of your tasks. By varying your reinforcement, you can keep your motivation fresh and prevent your reward system from becoming stale or predictable. Now that we understand the theory behind reinforcement learning, let's explore some practical steps to apply this knowledge to your life. The first step is to map out the specific behaviors you want to reinforce, the actions that will lead you towards your goals. This might include habits like starting work at a consistent time each day, completing a certain number of tasks before lunch, or dedicating time to learning new skills. Once you've identified these key behaviors, the next step is to link each action to a clear, motivating reward. Remember, the reward doesn't have to be large or external. It could be as simple as taking a moment to acknowledge your progress or visualizing yourself achieving your long-term goals. Tracking your progress is crucial in this process. Using simple tools like checklists or habit tracking apps can help you evaluate your consistency and see how well your reward system is working. This data allows you to tweak your feedback loops, modifying your reward system to prevent plateaus and ensure continued progress. As you implement these strategies, you're likely to see a range of positive outcomes. At a basic level, you should notice consistent positive reinforcement in your daily life. You'll find yourself more aware of your habits and more motivated to continue after experiencing small wins. This increased awareness and motivation can be powerful drivers of change, helping you maintain momentum even when faced with challenges. With continued practice, you may achieve a level of automatic habit creation. This is where the real magic happens. You'll start to see targeted behaviors become second nature, requiring less conscious effort to maintain. This automaticity frees up mental energy, allowing you to focus on tackling bigger challenges and pushing your boundaries further. In the best-case scenario, you'll develop a self-reinforcing cycle of growth. This is a state where continual habit upgrades feel natural and effortless. You'll find yourself embracing new goals with minimal friction, as your brain has become adept at learning and adapting to new challenges. This state of continuous, effortless improvement is the ultimate goal of mastering reinforcement learning. However, as with any powerful tool, there are potential pitfalls to be aware of when working with reinforcement learning. One common issue is the risk of over-rewarding, which can lead to diminished impact over time. If rewards are too frequent or too large, they can lose their meaning and effectiveness. The solution is to carefully scale back or diversify your rewards, finding new ways to make them meaningful and motivating. Another potential problem is focusing on the wrong behaviors, reinforcing habits that don't truly align with your main goals. This can happen when we get caught up in the satisfaction of small wins without considering their larger impact. To avoid this, it's important to regularly reassess your reinforcement strategies, ensuring that you're focusing on actions that produce real progress towards your most important objectives. As we conclude this exploration of reinforcement learning, take a moment to reflect on the power you now hold. You've gained insight into one of the fundamental processes that shape human behavior, and you have the tools to harness this process for your own growth and success. By understanding how your brain learns from rewards, you can create powerful feedback loops that turn your aspirations into reality. But as transformative as reinforcement learning can be, it's just one piece of the puzzle when it comes to mastering your motivation and productivity. In our next chapter, we'll delve into a closely related but distinct aspect of behavior change, one that can turn these learned behaviors into automatic, effortless actions that propel you towards your goals. Get ready to discover the hidden patterns that shape your daily life and learn how to rewire them for unprecedented success. Chapter 6: Habit Circuitry. Imagine a world where your most productive behaviors unfold effortlessly, as if guided by an invisible hand. A realm where the actions that propel you towards your goals occur naturally, without the constant need for willpower or conscious decision-making. This isn't a far-off utopia. It's the power of habit circuitry, and it's already at work within your brain. But what exactly is habit circuitry, and how can understanding it revolutionize your approach to productivity and personal growth? At its core, habit circuitry refers to the neural pathways in your brain that transform deliberate, conscious actions into automatic routines. It's the biological basis for why some behaviors become second nature, while others remain a constant struggle. In this chapter, we'll delve deep into the fascinating world of habit formation, exploring how your brain's circuitry can be rewired to support your goals and aspirations. We'll uncover the science behind why some habits stick instantly, while others take weeks or months to form. Most importantly, we'll learn how to harness this knowledge to break unproductive patterns and build powerful new routines that serve your highest ambitions. But why is understanding habit circuitry so crucial? The answer lies in its ability to release mental bandwidth. Every habit you form, every action that becomes automatic, frees up cognitive resources that would otherwise be spent on decision-making and self-control. This liberation of mental energy allows you to focus on higher-level tasks, unleashing your creativity and problem-solving abilities. Moreover, mastering habit circuitry gives you unprecedented control over your daily routine. Instead of relying on fleeting willpower or forced discipline, you can shift towards natural, habitual action. This transition minimizes your reliance on motivation, which can be inconsistent, and instead builds a foundation of consistent behavior that propels you towards your goals day after day. To truly grasp the power of habit circuitry, we need to understand the science behind habit formation. At its most basic level, a habit is formed through repetition and reinforcement. Each time you perform an action and receive a reward, remember our discussion on dopamine? Your brain strengthens the neural pathways associated with that behavior. Dopamine plays a crucial role in this process. As we've discussed in previous chapters, dopamine is released when we experience or anticipate a reward. In the context of habit formation, this dopamine release serves to cement the connection between a specific cue, the action you take in response to that cue, and the reward you receive. Over time, as this cycle of cue-action-reward is repeated, the neural pathways become so strong that the behavior becomes automatic. You find yourself performing the action without conscious thought, driven by the anticipation of the reward. This is how intentional acts transform into reflexes, the essence of habit formation. But not all habits are created equal. You've likely noticed that some habits seem to form almost instantly, while others take weeks or even months of consistent effort to establish. The key to this difference lies in the strength of the emotional or reward response associated with the behavior. Habits that form quickly are often tied to strong emotional experiences or highly rewarding outcomes. The intense dopamine release associated with these experiences accelerates the strengthening of neural pathways, leading to rapid habit formation. This is why habits formed during periods of high stress or excitement can be particularly stubborn. They're rooted in powerful neurochemical responses. On the other hand, habits with lower emotional or reward value take longer to establish. The dopamine release is less intense, so it takes more repetitions to strengthen the neural pathways to the point of automaticity. This is why many beneficial habits, like regular exercise or daily meditation, can be challenging to establish. The rewards, while significant in the long term, may not provide the immediate dopamine hit that drives rapid habit formation. Understanding this distinction is crucial when it comes to breaking unproductive patterns and establishing new, beneficial habits. By recognizing the cues that trigger unwanted behaviors and the rewards that reinforce them, you can begin to disrupt these circuits and replace them with more constructive routines. The first step in breaking unproductive habits is identifying the negative triggers that set them in motion. These triggers can be environmental cues, emotional states, or even specific times of day. By carefully observing your behavior, you can start to map out the cues that lead to unwanted actions. Once you've identified these triggers, you can employ strategies to disrupt the old circuits. One powerful approach is to replace harmful triggers with constructive ones. For example, if you find yourself habitually checking social media when you're stressed, you might replace that action with a brief mindfulness exercise or a few minutes of physical activity. Another effective strategy is to introduce friction into the habit loop. By making undesirable behaviors slightly more difficult to perform, you create a pause that allows your conscious mind to intervene. This could be as simple as moving your phone to another room to reduce mindless scrolling, or using website blockers to limit access to distracting sites during work hours. While breaking old habits is crucial, the real power lies in building new, positive routines that align with your goals. This process starts with creating a blueprint for success, carefully selecting the cues, routines, and rewards that will form your new habit loop. When choosing cues, look for consistent, reliable triggers in your environment or daily routine. These could be specific times of day, locations, or even emotional states. The key is to select cues that you encounter regularly and that can be easily linked to your desired behavior. The routine itself should be clearly defined and achievable. Start small. It's better to consistently perform a modest action than to aim for perfection and fall short. As the habit becomes more established, you can gradually increase the complexity or duration of the routine. The reward is crucial for cementing the habit. Remember, the goal is to create a dopamine release that reinforces the behavior. The reward doesn't have to be large or external. Often, the sense of accomplishment or progress is reward enough. The key is that it's meaningful to you and closely tied to the completion of the routine. To make these changes stick long-term, it's important to reinforce your habit loop regularly. This might involve tracking your progress, celebrating milestones, or periodically reflecting on how the new habit is benefiting your life. As you evolve and your goals change, don't be afraid to adjust your routines. The most powerful habit systems are flexible, adapting to your changing needs and circumstances. Now that we understand the theory behind habit circuitry, let's explore some practical steps to apply this knowledge to your life. One powerful tool is habit journaling and tracking. By listing out your daily behaviors, you can spot areas for improvement and identify patterns you might not have noticed otherwise. Checking off your progress as you go serves a dual purpose. First, it provides a clear visual representation of your consistency, which can be highly motivating. Second, the act of checking off a completed habit provides a small dopamine hit, reinforcing the behavior and making it more likely to stick. As you begin to reshape your habit circuitry, it's important to evolve your system gradually. Try adding or removing just one habit at a time. This focused approach allows you to give each change the attention it needs to become firmly established. Regular weekly reviews can help ensure you're on the right track, allowing you to make adjustments as needed. So, what kind of results can you expect as you begin to master your habit circuitry? At a basic level, you should start to notice that you're expending less conscious effort on basic tasks. Routines that once required deliberate focus will begin to run smoothly without mental strain. This frees up cognitive resources, allowing you to dedicate more time and energy to higher-level work and creative pursuits. As you continue to refine your habit system, you may achieve a seamless integration of productive habits into your daily life. You'll find multiple beneficial behaviors woven naturally into your routine, stacking up to create a clear sense of progress and accomplishment. In the best-case scenario, you'll develop an unshakable system that propels continuous growth. Your daily life will be constantly optimizing itself with minimal conscious effort on your part. You'll find yourself quickly adapting new, supportive behaviors as your goals evolve, always staying one step ahead in your personal and professional development. Of course, as with any powerful system, there are potential pitfalls to be aware of when working with habit circuitry. One common issue is hitting a habit plateau, a point where improvement seems to stall. This can happen when routines become too familiar, losing their ability to engage and challenge you. To break through a habit plateau, try introducing variety or slight challenges to your established routines. This could involve increasing the difficulty of your tasks, changing the order of your habits, or finding new ways to make familiar actions more engaging. The key is to keep your brain stimulated and your dopamine system active. Another potential issue is the emergence of conflicting habits. As you work to establish new routines, you may find them clashing with old, ingrained behaviors. In these situations, it's important to step back and refine your system for better alignment. This might involve adjusting the timing of certain habits, finding ways to combine complementary behaviors, or prioritizing which habits are most crucial for your current goals. As we conclude this exploration of habit circuitry, take a moment to reflect on the power you now hold. You've gained insight into the neural mechanisms that shape your daily behaviors, and you have the tools to rewire these circuits to support your highest aspirations. By understanding how habits form and how they can be reshaped, you've unlocked the ability to transform your life one small, consistent action at a time. But as transformative as mastering habit circuitry can be, it's just one piece of the puzzle when it comes to optimizing your productivity and achieving your goals. In our next chapter, we'll explore a powerful framework that ties together everything we've learned so far, providing a structured approach to decision-making and action that can supercharge your progress. Get ready to discover how to create your own personalized system for unstoppable motivation and achievement. Chapter 7: Motivation Algorithms. Imagine if you could decode the intricate patterns that drive your actions, unraveling the hidden logic behind your most productive moments. What if you could harness this knowledge to create a personalized blueprint for success, a set of instructions that consistently ignites your motivation and propels you towards your goals? This isn't science fiction. It's the power of motivation algorithms, and it's about to revolutionize the way you approach productivity and personal growth. But what exactly are motivation algorithms, and how can they transform your daily life? At their core, motivation algorithms are structured routines, triggers, and rewards that mirror the way your brain naturally processes decisions and actions. By understanding and harnessing these internal processes, you can create a system that consistently activates your drive, making productivity feel effortless and natural. In this chapter, we'll explore how to translate the complex science of dopamine and motivation into practical, personalized strategies that you can apply to any goal or challenge. We'll uncover the key components of these algorithms and learn how to craft a system that resonates with your unique motivational profile. But why is this approach so important? The power of motivation algorithms lies in their ability to turn scattered insights and techniques into a cohesive, repeatable daily system. Instead of relying on sporadic bursts of inspiration or willpower, you'll have a structured framework that ensures consistency and adaptability across various tasks and situations. Moreover, by automating many of your routine choices, motivation algorithms significantly reduce decision fatigue. This preservation of mental energy allows you to focus on higher-order creativity and problem-solving, unleashing your full potential in areas that truly matter. To truly harness the power of motivation algorithms, we need to understand the computational models of motivation that underpin them. Research suggests that our brains process decisions and actions in a systematic way, weighing costs and rewards to determine the most beneficial course of action. By aligning our routines with these internal algorithms, using deliberate triggers and well-timed rewards, we can create a self-perpetuating cycle of productivity that doesn't rely solely on fleeting willpower. The first step in crafting your personal success formula is mapping out your motivational blueprint. This involves identifying the key triggers that prompt or hinder your actions. These triggers can be external, like specific times of day, locations, or environmental cues, or internal, such as emotional states or thought patterns. Equally important is recognizing the personal incentives that resonate most strongly with you. What truly motivates you? Is it the sense of accomplishment from completing a task, the recognition from peers or superiors, the progress towards a larger goal? Understanding these intrinsic motivators is crucial for designing effective rewards within your algorithm. Once you've identified your triggers and motivators, the next step is to structure your goals in a step-by-step manner. This involves breaking large projects or ambitions into smaller, more manageable components. Each of these components should be clearly defined and achievable, creating a sense of progress and accomplishment as you work through them. The key here is to align each milestone with a clear reward. This doesn't necessarily mean external rewards. Often, the sense of progress or the satisfaction of checking off a task can be reward enough. The important thing is that the reward is meaningful to you and closely tied to the completion of the task. Building a system that works for you involves identifying your key triggers and creating a series of incremental rewards. When it comes to triggers, consider what visual, auditory, or situational cues spark your motivation. This could be anything from a specific playlist that gets you in the zone to a particular workspace that signals it's time to focus. At the same time, look for ways to simplify your environment to reduce distractions. The goal is to create a space, both physical and mental, that naturally guides you towards productive behavior. Creating incremental rewards is crucial for maintaining motivation across multiple steps or longer projects. These don't have to be grand gestures. Small perks or moments of acknowledgement can be powerful motivators when used consistently. The key is to scale your rewards appropriately, offering larger incentives for more significant milestones or particularly challenging tasks. Now that we understand the theory behind motivation algorithms, let's explore some practical steps to apply this knowledge to your life. The first phase involves testing and calibration. This means trying out different triggers to see which ones resonate most strongly with you. Pay attention to what consistently gets you into a productive mindset or sparks your enthusiasm for a task. Similarly, experiment with the timing and intensity of your rewards. You might find that immediate, small rewards work best for routine tasks, while delayed, larger rewards are more effective for long-term projects. The goal is to find the sweet spot where your rewards provide maximum motivation without becoming so routine that they lose their impact. As you refine your algorithm, you'll want to focus on scaling it across different tasks and projects. The power of a well-designed motivation algorithm lies in its adaptability. You should be able to apply the same basic framework to diverse challenges, adjusting the specifics as needed. This might involve creating different variations of your algorithm for different types of work or different energy levels. For example, you might have one version for high-focus, creative work and another for more routine administrative tasks. The key is to maintain the core structure while allowing for flexibility in the details. So what kind of results can you expect as you begin to implement your motivation algorithm? At a basic level, you should start to see clear, reusable frameworks emerging in your daily life. You'll have go-to templates for sparking motivation, making it easier to tackle a wide range of tasks without feeling overwhelmed. As you continue to refine your system, you may achieve a state of consistent execution with minimal stress. This means flowing through your tasks without the need for constant self-reminders or motivational pep talks. You'll find a sense of ease in tackling new challenges, confident in your ability to apply your algorithmic approach to any situation. In the best-case scenario, you'll develop the ability to effortlessly adapt your algorithm to any goal. Your environment will naturally align with your evolving objectives, and you'll experience ongoing success through a finely tuned system that grows and changes with you. Of course, as with any powerful tool, there are potential pitfalls to be aware of when working with motivation algorithms. One common issue is overcomplicating the process. In your enthusiasm to create a comprehensive system, you might find yourself getting lost in too many triggers or rewards, leading to overwhelm rather than clarity. The solution is to continually simplify your algorithm, focusing on the core elements that truly drive your behavior. Remember, the goal is to reduce cognitive load, not add to it. If you find yourself feeling burnt out or struggling to keep track of your system, it's time to streamline. Another potential issue is developing inflexible routines. While consistency is important, rigid adherence to a set pattern can leave you struggling when unexpected changes occur. To counter this, it's important to build flexibility into your algorithm from the start. This might involve having backup plans for common disruptions, or regularly reviewing and adjusting your system to ensure it still aligns with your current goals and circumstances. The most effective motivation algorithms are those that can adapt on the fly, maintaining their core structure while adjusting to the realities of a dynamic world. As we conclude this exploration of motivation algorithms, take a moment to reflect on the power you now hold. You've gained insight into the systematic processes that drive your actions, and you have the tools to create a personalized framework for consistent motivation and productivity. By understanding how to align your routines with your brain's natural decision-making processes, you've unlocked the ability to make progress feel effortless and natural. But as transformative as mastering motivation algorithms can be, it's just one piece of the puzzle when it comes to achieving your full potential. In our next chapter, we'll explore a fascinating aspect of human psychology that often stands in the way of long-term success. Get ready to uncover the hidden force that makes immediate gratification so tempting, and learn how to overcome it to achieve your most ambitious goals. Chapter 8: Delay Discounting. Imagine standing at a crossroads, faced with two paths. One leads to an immediate, tangible reward, a small treasure just within reach. The other stretches into the distance, promising a far greater prize, but one that requires time and effort to attain. Which path would you choose? This decision, seemingly simple, lies at the heart of one of the most profound challenges we face in our quest for long-term success and fulfillment. Welcome to the world of delay discounting, a fascinating phenomenon that shapes our decisions in ways we often fail to recognize. But what exactly is delay discounting, and why does it hold such power over our choices and behaviors? At its core, delay discounting refers to our tendency to undervalue future rewards in favor of immediate gratification. It's the voice in our head that says, "Why work on that important project now when I could relax and enjoy myself instead?" It's the impulse that leads us to procrastinate on our most meaningful goals, opting for quick wins and short-term comfort over long-term success. But why does our brain engage in this seemingly counterproductive behavior? The answer lies in the intricate workings of our dopamine system, that powerful neurotransmitter we've explored throughout this book. Our brains have evolved to respond strongly to immediate rewards, releasing a surge of dopamine that reinforces behaviors that lead to quick, tangible outcomes. This made perfect sense in our evolutionary past, where immediate rewards often meant survival. But in our modern world, where long-term planning and delayed gratification are often key to success, this tendency can become a significant obstacle. Understanding and overcoming delay discounting is crucial for several reasons. First and foremost, it's a key to conquering procrastination. By recognizing how short-term temptations derail our big-picture goals, we can develop strategies to stay on track. This means reducing the habit of "I'll do it tomorrow" thinking that so often keeps us from making meaningful progress. Moreover, mastering delay discounting allows us to create a future-focused mindset. Instead of chasing quick wins and immediate gratification, we can build a vision that pulls us forward, making consistent progress towards our most meaningful objectives. This shift in perspective can transform not just our productivity, but our entire approach to life and success. To truly harness the power of overcoming delay discounting, we need to understand how to recognize and reframe our personal patterns. We all have moments when we choose immediate comfort over future gains. The key is to become aware of these instances and understand the long-term implications of our choices. Start by paying attention to the decisions you make throughout your day. When do you find yourself opting for immediate pleasure over actions that align with your long-term goals? These could be small choices, like scrolling through social media instead of working on a project, or larger decisions that impact your career or personal development. As you become more aware of these patterns, you'll likely notice signs that you're undervaluing long-term rewards. You might feel a sense of regret after choosing the easy option, or notice a pattern of setting goals but consistently failing to make progress towards them. These are all indicators that delay discounting is at play in your decision-making process. Once you've identified your patterns, the next step is to reframe your future goals in a way that makes them more compelling to your present self. This involves making distant outcomes feel more concrete and immediate. One powerful technique is to employ mental imagery, vividly visualizing yourself achieving your long-term goals, experiencing the emotions and sensations associated with that success. Coupled with this visualization, create tangible reminders of your future objectives. This could involve creating a vision board, writing daily affirmations, or setting regular check-ins to review your progress. The key is to make your future goals a present and compelling part of your daily experience. Rewiring your reward system to prioritize long-term goals over immediate gratification is a crucial step in overcoming delay discounting. This process involves shifting your focus and creating new neural pathways that associate future outcomes with positive emotions and dopamine release. One practical way to keep your big objectives top of mind is to break them down into smaller, more manageable milestones. This approach serves two purposes. It makes the larger goal feel more achievable, and it provides more frequent opportunities for reward and reinforcement. For example, if your goal is to write a book, you might break it down into weekly word count targets or chapter completion milestones. Each of these smaller achievements becomes an opportunity to celebrate and reinforce your progress, helping to maintain motivation over the long term. Celebrating micro-progress is a powerful tool in rewiring your reward system. By acknowledging and rewarding small steps towards your goals, you create a positive feedback loop that encourages continued effort. This could be as simple as taking a moment to reflect on what you've accomplished, sharing your progress with a supportive friend, or giving yourself a small treat or period of relaxation after reaching a mini milestone. The key is to accumulate these minor wins in a way that builds towards major success. Each small achievement not only brings you closer to your ultimate goal, but also strengthens the neural pathways associated with long-term thinking and delayed gratification. Now that we understand the theory behind overcoming delay discounting, let's explore some practical steps to apply this knowledge to your life. The first crucial step is setting meaningful future targets that truly resonate with your values and aspirations. Take some time to reflect on what genuinely excites you about your long-term goals. What aspects of achieving these objectives light you up with enthusiasm? By connecting with the emotional core of your ambitions, you create a stronger motivational pull that can help counteract the allure of immediate gratification. Once you've identified these compelling future targets, the next step is to schedule milestones that gradually move you forward. Create a timeline that breaks your larger goal into smaller, achievable steps. Each of these steps should be specific, measurable, and tied to a particular time frame. A crucial aspect of overcoming delay discounting is learning to make tomorrow's rewards feel more immediate. This involves using visualization and self-talk techniques to enhance your anticipation of future outcomes. Spend time each day vividly imagining yourself achieving your goals, focusing on the positive emotions and sensations associated with that success. Combine this mental practice with tangible actions that link your present efforts to your future objectives. This might involve creating a visual representation of your progress, like a chart or graph that you update regularly. Or you could establish a ritual that connects your daily work to your larger goals, such as starting each work session by reviewing your long-term objectives. Another effective strategy is to combine short-term perks with long-term objectives. Find ways to introduce immediate, small rewards that are directly tied to actions that move you towards your bigger goals. This creates a bridge between the present and the future, helping your brain associate long-term effort with positive, immediate feedback. As you implement these strategies, you're likely to see a range of positive outcomes. At a basic level, you should notice a reduced impulse to delay important tasks. You'll start seeing tangible progress faster than usual as you consistently choose actions aligned with your long-term goals over short-term distractions. This shift will likely manifest as feeling less drawn to time-wasting activities. Instead of automatically reaching for your phone or finding other ways to procrastinate, you'll find it easier to focus on meaningful work. This doesn't mean you'll never face temptation, but you'll be better equipped to recognize and resist it. With continued practice, you may achieve a state of consistent effort toward meaningful goals. This means not just starting projects with enthusiasm, but maintaining that motivation through to completion. You'll find yourself achieving key milestones without losing steam, propelled forward by a clear vision of your desired future. This consistent progress brings with it a greater sense of clarity and focus when faced with tough decisions. By regularly practicing the skill of weighing short-term impulses against long-term benefits, you'll develop a sharper decision-making process in all areas of your life. In the best-case scenario, you'll become future-oriented in every aspect of your life. This doesn't mean neglecting the present, but rather developing the ability to make strategic, long-range plans almost effortlessly. You'll find yourself naturally considering the long-term implications of your choices, whether in your career, relationships, or personal development. This future-oriented mindset brings with it a deeper sense of satisfaction and purpose. By consistently aligning your actions with your long-term vision, you'll experience the profound fulfillment that comes from living with intention and purpose. Of course, as with any significant change in thinking and behavior, there are potential pitfalls to be aware of when working to overcome delay discounting. One common issue is losing sight of distant rewards over time. Even with the best intentions, it's easy to drift back to short-term distractions as the initial excitement of goal setting wears off. To counter this, it's crucial to reinforce daily habits that remind you of your goals. This might involve starting each day by reviewing your objectives, keeping visual reminders in your workspace, or scheduling regular check-ins to assess your progress. The key is to make your long-term vision a consistent part of your daily experience. Another potential issue is setting unrealistic timelines for your goals. In our enthusiasm to make progress, it's easy to overestimate how quickly we can achieve significant objectives. This can lead to disappointment and decreased motivation if we don't meet our overly ambitious deadlines. The solution is to regularly reassess and adjust your milestones. Be honest with yourself about your progress and the challenges you're facing. If you find that you're consistently falling short of your targets, it may be time to adjust your timeline or break your goals down into even smaller, more manageable steps. Remember, the goal isn't to achieve everything overnight, but to make consistent progress over time. By setting realistic expectations and celebrating each step forward, you maintain motivation and build momentum towards your ultimate objectives. As we conclude this exploration of delay discounting, take a moment to reflect on the power you now hold. You've gained insight into one of the most fundamental challenges in human psychology, and you have the tools to reshape your decision-making process in favor of long-term success. By understanding how to reframe future rewards and rewire your brain's reward system, you've unlocked the ability to consistently choose actions that align with your most meaningful goals. But as transformative as mastering delay discounting can be, it's just one piece of the puzzle when it comes to achieving your full potential. In our final chapter, we'll bring together everything we've explored throughout this book, creating a comprehensive blueprint for unstoppable productivity and personal growth. Get ready to discover how to integrate all these powerful concepts into a cohesive system that will propel you towards your most ambitious dreams. Chapter 9, Mastery Unlocked. Congratulations! You've reached the final chapter of our journey through the fascinating world of dopamine and motivation. By now, you've gained a wealth of knowledge about how your brain's reward system works and how you can harness its power to transform your life. But this isn't the end. It's just the beginning of your path to mastery. In this chapter, we'll bring together all the insights you've gathered, weaving them into a cohesive, actionable roadmap for enduring success. We'll explore how to sustain and scale your newly rewired brain, ensuring that the changes you've begun to implement become a permanent part of your life. The key principle underlying everything we've discussed is this. Once you understand dopamine's role in driving motivation and habit formation, you gain the power to continually refine your daily practices. This isn't about following a rigid set of rules, but about creating a personalized system that evolves with your goals and keeps you in a cycle of ongoing growth. Let's start by reflecting on how the knowledge you've gained can empower you. You now have a comprehensive understanding of your motivation, not just in theory, but in practical, applicable terms. You can take control of your dopamine-driven behaviors, steering them towards the outcomes you desire, rather than being at their mercy. This mastery brings with it a profound sense of confidence. No longer are you at the whim of fleeting motivation or mysterious mood swings. You understand the underlying mechanisms and can adjust them as needed. This confidence extends beyond just productivity. It permeates every aspect of your life, allowing you to approach challenges with a sense of capability and control. Moreover, you've unlocked the key to continuous self-improvement. The strategies you've learned aren't static. They're designed to be iterated upon, allowing for lifelong advancement. You now have the tools to embrace change, not as a disruption, but as an integral part of growth. But the impact of your newfound knowledge extends beyond just personal achievement. It has the power to transform your relationships as well. As you begin to implement these strategies and see results, you'll naturally inspire those around you. Your progress becomes a living example of what's possible, motivating friends, family, and colleagues to pursue their own growth. You might find yourself naturally setting collective goals or creating support systems with others who are inspired by your journey. This shared pursuit of growth can deepen your connections and create a positive ripple effect in your social and professional circles. Furthermore, your understanding of motivation and behavior gives you a new lens through which to view others. You'll begin to recognize the motivational drivers in friends and colleagues, allowing you to communicate with greater empathy and understanding. This insight can be particularly powerful in leadership roles, where you can use positive reinforcement techniques to inspire and guide others effectively. Now, let's consider what you'll be able to achieve with your new skills that might have seemed out of reach before. One of the most significant changes you'll likely notice is your ability to consistently follow through on ambitious goals. Those large-scale projects that once seemed daunting, you now have the tools to tackle them with confidence, breaking them down into manageable steps and maintaining your motivation throughout the process. Even under pressure, you'll find yourself able to maintain energy and focus. The strategies you've learned for managing your dopamine levels and creating effective habit loops will serve as a buffer against stress and burnout, allowing you to perform at your best even in challenging circumstances. Perhaps most excitingly, you'll develop a fearless approach to new challenges. Uncertainty, which might once have been paralyzing, now becomes an opportunity for growth. You understand that each new situation is a chance to apply your knowledge, learn, and refine your strategies further. This adaptability extends to your ability to handle shifting priorities. In a world that's constantly changing, your newfound skills give you the flexibility to rapidly adjust your focus without losing momentum. You're no longer rigidly attached to one way of doing things, but can fluidly move between different approaches as circumstances demand. As you continue to practice the concepts from this book, you'll find that your results improve with less and less effort. This is the beauty of developing an intuitive habit system. Over time, your new routines will begin to operate on autopilot, freeing up mental space for innovation and creativity. Imagine waking up each morning and effortlessly flowing through a series of productive behaviors, all aligned with your long-term goals. This isn't about forcing yourself to stick to a rigid schedule, but about creating an environment and set of habits that naturally guide you towards success. This efficiency creates a compound effect of ongoing refinements. Each success you achieve becomes a stepping stone to even bigger wins. As your good habits stack and reinforce each other, you'll experience a kind of exponential growth in your capabilities and achievements. Now, let's bring it all together by reviewing your dopamine blueprint. At its core, this blueprint is based on a few key neuroscience principles: the role of dopamine in motivation and reward, the power of habit formation, and the importance of balancing short-term and long-term rewards. You've learned how to create effective cues and rewards to drive desired behaviors. You understand the difference between phasic and tonic dopamine release and how to leverage both for sustained motivation. You've explored reinforcement learning and how to create positive feedback loops that strengthen productive habits. Each of these pieces supports a life of unstoppable productivity. By understanding and manipulating your brain's reward system, you can create an environment that naturally pushes you towards your goals. You're no longer fighting against your brain's natural tendencies, but working with them to achieve extraordinary results. As we chart the path forward, remember that sustaining your newly wired habits is an ongoing process. It's not about achieving perfection, but about continuous refinement and growth. Embrace a mindset of lifelong learning and transformation. Each day is an opportunity to apply what you've learned, observe the results, and make adjustments as needed. In conclusion, you now hold in your hands, or rather, in your mind, a powerful set of tools for transforming your life. You understand the intricate workings of your brain's motivation system and how to harness it for unprecedented productivity and personal growth. But here's the truly exciting part. This is just the beginning. The knowledge and strategies you've gained are not a final destination, but a launch pad for continuous evolution. As you apply these concepts in your life, you'll discover new insights, create innovative applications, and unlock levels of potential you might never have imagined possible. Your journey of mastery is ongoing, a thrilling exploration of your own capabilities. With each passing day, as you refine your dopamine blueprint and deepen your understanding of your own motivational drivers, you'll find yourself achieving goals that once seemed out of reach, tackling challenges with confidence and creativity, and inspiring those around you to reach for their own extraordinary potential. You are now the architect of your own motivation, the master of your brain's reward system. The future stretches out before you, filled with possibilities, limited only by your imagination and your willingness to apply what you've learned. But as you embark on this journey of unstoppable productivity, a new challenge emerges. How can you ensure that the decisions you make and the goals you set are truly aligned with your deepest values and long-term success? The answer lies in developing a skill that complements and enhances everything you've learned about dopamine and motivation. It's a fundamental ability that can transform your approach to personal growth and decision-making, taking your newfound productivity to even greater heights. To discover this crucial next step in your transformation, dive into the audiobook Critical Thinking Mastery. Transform your mindset for ultimate personal growth. Tap the center of the video now to continue your transformation journey.